stop having babies. And why is that our problem because you have all these kids?
But I think the first subject we should talk about is Section
No,
8.
tell me about it. Oh, all right, Section 8.
I definitely want to have a conversation
Oh
about
my!
that.
I was telling him earlier about. Oh wait, but these girls.
All right, I'm gonna go first. My feeling about Section 8. I think, first of all, for the people who don't know what Section 8 is, I don't know, it might be called something else in different states or whatever. But it's basically when you are assigned a place to live and you are making under a certain amount of money, so the government like pays for a portion of your rent. If I'm the owner, I charge $1,000 for the rent.
Or
The
all of it,
government,
depending
I
upon
thought it was
yeah.
your
all
income
of
is.
it.
No, it depends on. It depends. It's
It
like,
depends on your income.
yeah, I'm sure some sort of formula or calculation or whatever. But basically, whatever the rent is, the government pays for like 95% of it or whatever, and then you got to come up with the rest, whether it's $50, $100, whatever. I think it's definitely a place for that in like I guess America or whatever. But people when they start abusing it, that's when I got a problem. Yeah, that's when what
But that goes on. I think pretty much everybody abuses it.
I definitely
Section
agree.
8.
Pretty much yes,
Every
absolutely.
if
Why you say it like that?
unless you handicapped or mentally ill, I don't think you should be on it.
But I was saying earlier
No, because
before
there
we.
are single moms that do need
That's
help.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure they should definitely get
Then
it.
stop having babies. And
Wh-
who's why is that our problem because you have all these kids?
I mean,
Okay, but now you kind of to play like devil's advocate. Now you kind of blaming the kid. That's like if you have a child out of I don't know wedlock or with a bad dad or whatever. The kid is here now, so it's like all right, you made a bad decision, mom. So now the kid gotta be homeless and living on the street or living in a shelter or whatever. Like I said, I think it's definitely a place for Section 8. But when people abuse it, like let me have another kid so that I can get my eligibility extended for another year. When people start thinking like that and doing stuff like that, it's like, all right, you're just abusing it. But if people don't abuse it, which is the big issue here, I don't think it's a problem.
yeah,
As long as you don't abuse it.
Maybe I'm just a hater and I'm jealous that I have to pay rent or a
No, we all
mortgage.
do.
Like I just
no, but
I mean
you could have had a mom that literally actually was really doing well and all
Yeah,
that stuff,
just
and then
got laid
she fell
off.
on hard times, and it's like, damn, like she couldn't find a job, so she's like, you know what? Let me get this in the meantime until I get on my feet. Now, I always look at it like Section 8 should be a stepping stone for people. Now, if you're sitting around doing nothing after a certain amount of years, then yes, I feel like they should absolutely snatch it from you if you're capable. So if you're a mother that literally got, let's say, 3 kids, whatever the case might be, and all the fathers ain't there,
okay.
or you're receiving child
Okay.
support, whatever
But
the case might
still,
be, like
Okay.
that's
after
the
about 5 years, if you're not showing that literally you're trying or you're trying to do something with yourself, whether it
Okay.
be a job, school, trade, whatever the case might be,
Okay.
yes, it should snatch it from underneath you.
Yes,
I feel like
agree.
that's
but
how it should be.
Agree.
even in that scenario you just gave, say 5 years, they ain't been trying, they ain't apply for no jobs, they're not doing nothing right.
Mhm.
You snatch this place where this child has been living for the last 2 years or whatever. Now this child don't have a home. They
But
don't
now,
have heat.
Kyle, once again, you're trying to make it like
I'm not saying I'm necessarily
yeah, but
disagreeing with it. I'm just
the mother should be thinking about her child. The father should be thinking about their child. That's their responsibility. You mean like Danielle said, we shouldn't have to pay for it, but I feel like if a person needs it because they actually need it, yes, but you should be thinking about your child. The system shouldn't have to think about your child.
you're right.
Yes.
So literally, you should be sitting there saying, okay, I
Right.
got 5 years to literally get myself together.
Thought that I'll be against everything he
I think
said.
we're all on the same page. I'm just playing like
Okay.
devil's advocate. But like, even if what you said is absolutely true, right?
No, that is true. You should be thinking about your
Let's-
child. You
let's-
should want to do better for your child.
Exactly.
Yes.
But what about the parents who don't?
Yes, then why should they be allowed to just sit on it then?
I'm just saying, if they don't, if you got a bad parent that's on drugs, don't whatever. Now the kid got to sacrifice, got to pay the
Their
price.
parent is on drugs, and I mean, most likely their kid is suffering, and they don't.
So
care
they
about
suffering
them
anyway. So you might as well take the house from them too.
I mean,
They
if you're
shouldn't
not
even be.
trying, if you're not
Kids.
trying to accomplish something, like, oh yes,
Yeah,
you should not absolutely be on it after a certain period of time. They should investigate you every 5 years to make sure
Man, that's a
throughout
lot.
that time.
I think 5 years is too long. I know, I think
throughout the 5 years also.
at least like probably get a reevaluation like every year.
Or
every
every
6 months.
6
Every 6 months,
months.
yeah.
Every 6 months.
Hurry up.
So I
Every
literally
6
know
months.
mothers who literally just sit on that joint and don't
And
do
just sit there.
anything,
Right.
but smoke, drink, party, all that stuff. Like, dog. Unfortunately, yes, if it comes from swept under your feet, it's gonna affect your kid. But bro, you have to think about your kid. You mean like when people fall on hard times, they don't get Section 8, and they got kids.
They gotta figure it
have
out.
to
Oh,
think
I
about their
see.
kids. They gotta
And they gotta figure
work
it
hard
out.
and get where they want to be. You mean like not everybody uses Section
Right.
8, so
So
it's-
yeah, that's the answer.
yeah.
That's the answer to what I was saying. Like I said, the kid would be like what is like the kid would be like accepting the bad part about it. Like I
Yeah.
said, they would not have a home, but like you said, it's up to the parents to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, no, your kid ain't got no roof over his head for the last 2-3 nights. Like, what you gonna do?
I mean, put it this way, right? If you allow, let's say, one of your friends to stay in there, that had a kid, right? And she was just staying here, she wasn't doing nothing, and you was like, all right, I'm gonna give you a year to whatever. You know what I mean, like, and she did nothing the whole entire year besides drink, smoke, and party. No, by the end of that year, you're not gonna allow her to stay even longer, regardless of the fact that it affects the kid.
I wouldn't have no female living here with me with no
Okay,
kids.
well, that's the solid point. We're talking hypothetically, but you know damn well you gonna kick her
Right.
out. You know what I mean, like, so it's like,
Yeah, I would.
you wouldn't,
But you wouldn't feel bad. I mean, I feel bad, but
But it's like, I can't be sitting here thinking about you and your kid, and you not even doing that. Like, what? Like, how? When is she gonna change? What is she gonna do?
she probably won't. In most cases,
Exactly.
right. Well, I know a lot of people that have been, you know, I know a lot of people, but I know of an address that is a Section 8 address, and
Mhm.
every 6-7 years, a new family that's in there.
Where?
Mhm.
6 across the street.
Oh, for-
Yeah,
For real?
every like 5-6 years, a new family. The family that's there now, they probably been there for like, I don't know, like 3 or 4 years. They're gonna be there for another 2 or 3. Then they're gonna have a new family in there. It's just like, yo, me personally, I just never would want to be even like having to depend on
Yeah.
somebody like that. What if the government, for whatever reason, the law changed, or in your area code is no longer eligible, or whatever? They come and knock on your door. Yeah, y'all gotta leave. You got 24 hours to leave. Like to even put that on somebody else.
No.
Oh, just imagine that. Like at least even with an apartment, or if you rent, there's like laws. I think you got to give people like 30 days or something. They can't like knock on your units today and like, look, you got to leave out tonight. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even think you can do that. But yeah, what was the other one? We were talking about. You said,
Oh, so we done with that.
I mean, unless you want to add something to that. I think we kind of all on the same page
Yeah,
with
definitely.
that. Like I think we all definitely agree that Section 8 should not be abused, but if you need it, use it for as long as you actually need it. Don't just take advantage of it. Like you said, whoever you notice in the Section 8 house smoking and drinking and not trying to get a job. Them type people, I
Yeah.
ain't with. Did you see the video I sent you?
Then stop having babies. And why is that our problem because you have all these kids?